And we begin tonight with breaking news. 3 people have been rushed to the hospital after 2 separate crashes involving pedestrians.
Both of those crashes have shut down major valley roadways. The first one was near 7th Avenue and Camelback. Phoenix Fire tells us that 2 people were hit by a car. A woman was rushed to the hospital in extremely critical condition. A man was taken to the hospital also in critical condition. Westbound Camelback is shut down for the investigation. Police tell us the car did have a green light and the driver stayed on the scene.
And now to Scottsdale, where police are investigating a crash that sent another pedestrian to the hospital. This is on Scottsdale Road near McDowell. Police tell us that the person who was hit has life-altering injuries to their lower body. The driver stayed on scene. The northbound lanes of Scottsdale Road are closed while officers investigate. Now to a story that shows how crashes like these can change so many lives. A 13-year-old boy killed while riding his bike in the West Valley was remembered tonight. His parents and friends came together as they continue their fight for justice.
12 News journalist Chase Golightly was at the vigil to mark the 1-year anniversary of this accident.
It was at this crosswalk where Eli Bizzle was hit by a car and lost his life. While it's been a year, his mom and dad tell me it feels like nothing has changed from that day.
This will never go away. They say time heals all wounds. Not for us.
It's a day the Bizzle family can never escape.
It's like the world's continuing and everyone's still going on and I'm just still stuck in April 11th.
Last year, Albert and Victoria's youngest child, 13-year-old Eli Bizzle, was heading home on his bike, crossing the street at 47th and Northern Avenue when a truck hit him in the crosswalk.
Unfortunately, my son, he succumbed to his injuries after 12 days of being on life support.
The driver fled the scene, but Glendale police say 2 days later, 27-year-old Joshua Holbert turned himself in and was taken into custody.
Justice for Eli!
On Friday, around the same time Eli was hit,
See, Uncle?
family and friends gathered at that same crosswalk to remember him.
Outgoing. He was a straight-A student.
Not only demanding the person responsible for his death be held accountable, but also change. Since the accident, the Bizzles have called on lawmakers to make changes at this intersection and create harsher repercussions for reckless drivers.
Penalties are increased for people that go through something like this.
Progress that hasn't happened yet.
Making everyone aware, to make everyone care. And once everyone's aware and everyone cares, then something is going to change.
Not wanting any other parent to have to go through this pain that they say never goes away.
I want to try and prevent it as much as we can because it's something that this has been the worst year of my life. The worst year.
Court records reveal Holbert has a history of reckless driving. In this case, he's pleaded not guilty. The family telling me they are now waiting for his trial to start. We're in Phoenix. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
All right, Chase, thanks. It's been nearly 5 years since Daniel Robinson disappeared. The young geologist was last seen leaving a work site in the desert near Buckeye. Since then, his father has been desperately searching for his son. And tomorrow, he'll be there for another organized search.
This time, he will be joined by another parent who unfortunately knows the pain of having a child go missing. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono reports.
Gabby Petito never goes outside.
You're never going to heal from the death of a child.
It was a case that captivated the country.
That's just never going to happen.
22-year-old Gabby Petito, a beautiful and free-spirited young aspiring vlogger. In June of 2021, she would set out on a van adventure with her then fiancé, Brian Laundrie.
What I think people did was they saw themselves as Gabby.
Her father, Joseph Petito, reflects.
So many people are victims of domestic violence in one way, shape, or form. And I guess they identified with what she was going through.
That same month in Arizona, a 24-year-old geologist named Daniel Robinson was last seen leaving his job site in the desert near Buckeye.
When someone goes missing, the amount of heartache, anger, the unknowing, uncontrollable type of sense that you get is difficult to kind of focus your attention.
Gabby was last heard from in late August, and in September, her body was found. Laundrie had killed her. The news reverberating across the nation. And 4 years later, her father says while closure may never come, his family has answers. Something Daniel Robinson's family is still searching for.
It hurts to see that he's still going through it, where we were able to bring Gabby home.
Through the Gabby Petito Foundation, her family members are working to support others with missing loved ones. It's why Petito is here in Arizona this weekend to help Daniel Robinson's father search for his son.
Daniel's a story that needs to be told because he needs to be found. He needs to be brought home, at the very least, to help David get some answers and his family get some answers.
In July of 2021, Daniel's blue Jeep Renegade was found rolled over in a ravine less than 3 miles from his job site, but no sign of Daniel. The FBI has since been briefed on the case.
He probably sees, every time he sees a Jeep Renegade that's remotely the same color, or someone walking with their back to him, he might want to tap him on the shoulder just to see if it's Daniel. I know I went through that.
He'll be joining Daniel's father, David, in the desert Saturday morning for an organized search, looking for any clues that can help lead them to Daniel and be a support system for a fellow father who is now in his shoes.
If anybody's watching, they got some free time, it'd be a great time to do it because David deserves it and Daniel needs to be found.
I was just noticing your tattoos.
Nearly 4 years later.
So Gabby had this one. And then Gabby had this one.
Gabby is with Joseph every day.
I was hurting, but not physically hurting. So I needed to feel the physical pain.
Keeping her memory alive in his family's mission to bring missing people home.
Curious what Gabby would think about what you are doing to now help other families.
I hope she sees, that we're making her proud. I hope she's happy that we're doing this for her, in her name, in her honor. There's no person out there that's missing that doesn't deserve the same attention.
And if you want to help in that search for Daniel, it is happening Saturday morning at 6:45 in Buckeye. Police will also be there with dogs, drones, and personnel. You can watch my full interview with Joseph Petito right now on 12+. We're in the newsroom. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
All right, Bianca, thank you. We continue to track a weather impact alert as record temperatures are set to continue into the weekend. The hot and dry temps leading to increased fire danger across the state tomorrow.
12 News meteorologist Crystal Long is tracking the latest in our weather impact forecast.
I wish we could say see you later, summer, but tomorrow's forecast looks like it's coming straight out of the early June playbook again. So we're going to tack on to our triple-digit tally as we go after that 101 degrees in Phoenix, which blows past the 1936 record of 99. Tucson taking on another record after today. They set their record earliest 100-degree temperature. You're barely south of the century mark tomorrow, but still record-setting. Winslow pairing up the 8s, that's a record breaker for you. And Prescott also tearing up its record and making more marks in the books. This is why we still have that 12 News weather impact alert activated through tomorrow because of these towering temperatures so early in the year. Make sure you suck down that water. You will thank yourself later, and try to be indoors as much as possible to cool off. And then we're introducing a new threat this weekend as we have strong gusty southwest winds teaming up with rock bottom relative humidity. This is triggering a red flag warning.
Thanks, Crystal. New video tonight shows the moments just before a DPS trooper had to shoot and kill a woman on the side of I-10 last week. 41-year-old Robin Ray Budelli can be seen reaching into a bag and grabbing a butcher knife before lunging at the trooper. He then pulls the gun and shoots her several times. Budelli was taken to the hospital where she would later die. The trooper wasn't hurt. DPS says Budelli was seen walking on the side of the highway before the shooting. The incident is under investigation.
Only on 12 News, a former Goodyear police officer is facing criminal charges after investigators say he let a woman use his department-issued computer to search for personal information about her husband and run license plates checks on random vehicles.
12 News journalist Kyle Simchuk is digging into the newly filed documents that show what led to this felony charge.
A statement that you want to make on the record that's for broadcast?
Yeah, I believe that this is 100% a revenge stint for her.
On the phone, former Goodyear officer Junior Alvidrez now facing charges after police say he let a woman use his department-issued computer to search for personal information about her husband and run license plates on random vehicles.
I mean, do you think you violated the law here?
I mean, clearly I did. If this is happening, clearly I violated the law.
Detectives believe the crime happened days after Thanksgiving in 2023, but the criminal charges were filed this week. Alvidrez was 30 years old at the time and hadn't even been on the job for a year, according to court documents. He told us he met the woman on a prior police call.
Did you know that you were breaking this law at the time? I mean, did you know the law?
Yeah, I know the law. Did I know that in particular, that it was a violation for them to know that? No, because it happens on ride-alongs.
The woman then filed a complaint against him, and detectives with Peoria Police took over the investigation and questioned Alvidrez. Records show he denied giving her access and told them she must have learned how to use it on her own by watching him. Less than 1 month after being placed on leave, Alvidrez resigned from the Goodyear Police Department. He also surrendered his Arizona Peace Officer certification last year, permanently ending his ability to serve in law enforcement within the state.
So this is news to you, us calling you. We're the first to break it to you that you're being charged with a felony.
I haven't heard anything, so you're the very first one to tell me that I'm being charged.
Fast forward to this week, detectives in Peoria recommended charging Alvidrez with unauthorized access to criminal history, a Class 6 felony. He's scheduled to make his first court appearance May 9th. Kyle Simchuk, 12 News.
Kyle, thanks.